Hi Empoweristas, it's Alex Worley and I'm with Christine Bullock. She is a lifestyle and fitness expert that you've seen everywhere on P90X packaging, magazine covers, the Today Show, VH1, a bunch of TV shows. She's also the creator of Evolution 20 and Kayo, which I had to practice a million times because I was like, Kayo,
we made it a little
Kayo.
hard.
I got it. Anyways, basically, she's a major Empowerista, and I'm so glad that you're here chatting with me today.
Thank you, Alice. I'm excited to be here, and thank you for picking this beautiful location.
Yeah, right. It was easy. So you've had quite the journey. I love, you were telling me a little bit about it, and you really did start from the bottom. That's the best story, where you started from the bottom, now you're here. So take me back from the very beginning. You are from Pittsburgh, you were a ballerina, you decided one day that you were gonna move to LA. Take me there.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, so I think I was around 25 years old, and I was a ballerina first and foremost, and then out of high school I continued to dance, and it was about 17 years. And then I decided that I really wanted to encourage my brain and my scholastics. So I went off to college, and during college though I fell into teaching yoga. So then I started teaching yoga, and that's when I started teaching fitness in general. And after college, I was definitely bored. There were a couple years where I was waiting around, and I also had worked at Sephora through college, and so I had been there for about 5 years, started working for plastic surgeons, and I was in the beauty business a little bit, and just bored. Like, you know, I wasn't growing, but I was working for money. I come from very humble beginnings, and so it was always like I was looking for the dollar that's gonna pay the bills, put me through school, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, your dad's a teacher, and your mom was a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah. So one day I finally just picked up, I packed a couple of boxes, and I moved to Los Angeles, where I had been for maybe the total of like 5 hours one time. And I just took the leap, and it took years because I feel like everybody was telling me I couldn't do it. And it seemed like LA was such a big jump that I would never make it, and I didn't even know what I wanted to make it at, but it was really scary.
You just knew that you wanted to change, you didn't have a plan.
Yes.
And even your family was a little skeptical of this move, right?
Yeah, my mom was completely against it for years. And I am glad that I went a little bit later, because LA can be a little overwhelming, and I think I was a bit more mature at that point. But I just picked up and I moved with like an air mattress, got a car when I got here, and started working from here. And I basically was working for an international company at that point, and I was traveling a lot, so I didn't meet anybody here. But randomly I walked into a bar within the first few months of being here, and I met my husband, who is also from Pittsburgh and had been here for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the start of where everything really started to turn around and shift in my life. And I think that's that is the first step that every Empowerista has to take, is to say, you have this desire in your heart, you don't know why. I've always said I was gonna move to Los Angeles, I didn't know anything about it. But you have this destiny that's kind of preset, I feel like. And you have these signs throughout your life and these feelings that you have, and it's typically fear. I think some of the biggest things you're fearful of not succeeding at, and just to go after it. I love looking fear in the face and taking it on.
So fear sometimes is a go sign.
Yes.
Like a lot of times people see fear and they think it's a stop sign. And sometimes it is.
Yes.
Sometimes it is. But what
Bad
you're saying,
boyfriend, not good.
Yeah, exactly. But you're saying sometimes, like, or a lot of times for you, it's like you were fearful and you're like, I'm going for it.
I learned that after a while. I mean, I think I ran for a long time in my life, and that would be one of the biggest recommendations is, you know, you can all do it so much faster than I did it. But you can also make up for time once you go. But I learned that those biggest fears, and it was from moving to LA because it was my biggest fear. And I learned that worked out really well pretty quickly. And then everything else started to roll out as well.
But it sounds like it wasn't just fear, there was also this pull too, this deep knowing, right?
Yeah, and you have to listen to your inner person. And I made a decision one day that I was going to pursue what made my heart and my soul happy instead of what filled my bank. And when I made that next big leap, which I was very fearful about, again, everything rolled out even faster for me. And, you know, becoming like a fitness trainer professionally, I was a little embarrassed about. I was like, well, you know, I worked with doctors and all this kind of stuff, and now I was training, and there's not anything necessarily embarrassing about it, but I was, you know. But from there, I've been able to build so many different businesses around what I love to do, which is health and fitness.
It's amazing how we have so many storylines that we're taught growing up that, oh, you only have a legitimate career if you're a doctor or lawyer or your dad was a teacher. You know, those are the legitimate careers. So that's probably where that embarrassment came from for you. But that's amazing that you were able to get over that and be like, no, there's just something in my heart that says to follow this, and you're a perfect example of how a lot of times when you just follow your passion, the money will follow.
Yeah, because you're inspired. You know, everything, something inspires you to create another business around it, and like, I have so many ideas I can't even keep up with them at this point.
Because that's where creativity is born, and
Yes.
creativity and innovation, that's how businesses are born.
Yeah.
So you were saying that moderation is everything. There was a time in your fitness career where you went a little extreme,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Tell me about that time.
So when I fell into fitness modeling, you know, you'd go to set and you'd have to like wrap your leg around your head for a yoga pose, or we had days we were on set, 100-degree weather, and we're filming 17 hours, doing fitness all day long, throwing tires. You know, I was like whipping chains, all this kind of crazy stuff. So I did get inspired, and I would try and challenge myself to be able to do that even off set. And I loved what I do. I liked being active, but I started to really overdo it, and my body started to break down. You know, my fascial system, which wraps around your muscle, got a lot of scar tissue. My muscles got super tight. It hurt to just like hug my husband. Everything was so out of alignment for me. And I even had adrenal fatigue first, which was the first sign in 2000, it was years ago, in 2008. And then that led to hypothyroid, which is where your metabolism really slows down, you have lack of focus, mental clarity, a bunch of stuff. So your hormones just basically completely slow down, and it's hard to function, and it's hard to find the energy. So you have to find a balance.
Wow, yeah, we were talking about off camera that you used to consider yourself a type A person, but now you're a type B person.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times our society glorifies the type A's because those are the people that get it done. But you were saying type B's are more creative and innovative, and those are a lot of times the entrepreneurs of the world. And how important that is for your well-being, and you said even anti-aging. So whenever there's stress in your body, she was saying to counter that with something relaxing. So tell me about what some ideas are for somebody who's a little bit type A, how they can balance that.
Yeah, so to become type B, well, first, there are studies out there that there are actual type Bs, but I also like to think of it in the sense as just a step down from the type B, a little bit more zen, or from type A.
Maybe you're an A minus.
I'd
or
like
a
to be
B
C at this point. I'm tired. But I found that to repair my body, to repair my hypothyroid, I didn't want to go on medications. I wanted to find out what the root was. And I found meditation and relaxation, relaxing movement, reparative movement. Basically, when you're overworking out, like what I was doing before, you build free radicals in your body. The free radicals are what are around us, and they're what age us on so many levels. It's the environmental toxins that deplete the body, cause disease, cause the wrinkles, and all that kind of stuff. And you're actually building them in your body with your workout. So you want shorter, more effective workouts so that you're not building these aging free radicals in the body. So one, you gotta shorten your workouts.
Hence Evolution 20. She has 20-minute workouts in her video series.
Yeah, and there's tons of science on the fact that like high intensity, you can get a workout in 10 or 20 minutes worth 60 minutes or more. So you can
So
do
the
it.
key is high intensity.
High intensity, yeah.
Okay.
And mixing it up. Don't plateau either, so try and mix up your workouts a little bit, and that just helps as well. But you want movement that restores. So I love foam rolling, stretching. One of the first things that goes as we age is flexibility. And you know, that's what a beautiful young body is all about, and movement is flexibility and mobility. So I highly recommend foam rolling for 10 minutes each day. And then I added meditation, and it was something that I had added in and out of my life, but I meditate for 20 minutes usually for at least an hour every morning. It turns into an hour. And I don't do anything else. I skip my workouts now because
Wait, you don't do any workouts?
Well, I skip it if it happens to be that my meditation is going so well.
Oh, okay.
And I can't get the time in, you know, then I would rather like work my soul and my brain in the morning than my body at this age. And
so how often do you work your body then, typically on average?
5 days a week.
Yeah, so still working out a lot.
Yeah.
But
they're
short
short,
workouts.
they're effective. Sometimes it's a walk, sometimes it's like a barefoot run on the beach.
Oh, wow.
And it's great because it's like, it's not too much pressure. You just run down to the beach and you're like, 20-minute run, great.
Yeah.
I can do that.
That's amazing.
You know, I learned that there really has to be a balance in everything that you do, and that has to do with business and taking time off of your businesses too, taking time to enjoy your friends and your family, because when you own your own business, it's like you could constantly be working, and a lot of times you love to work. And it's that time of meditation, whether it is completely being quiet for myself, whether it's foam rolling, whether it's having a glass of wine with my husband or walking my dogs. It's that balance in life that helped me actually heal my hypothyroid, and recently I was diagnosed that I don't have it any longer. So I was able to do that through nutrition and through peace of mind, basically, and just balancing my lifestyle.
That's a really good point too. Like, a lot of people assume that more work equals more success and more money, but that's not always the case. Sometimes you're more successful when you give it that breathing room, because again, it's that intangible that creates inspiration and creativity, right?
Oh yeah, and that's why it's like I'll take so long to meditate, because my day runs so much more effectively and inspirationally, and I have so much more energy, and things just get done randomly.
So now you have so many businesses that have come out of being a lifestyle and fitness expert. Let's start with the one I'm so excited about. Kayo. I have it. I can see it. Like, the branding is beautiful. Saying it, a whole nother thing. Tell me what it's all about.
So the skin is your biggest organ, and it's the first line of defense against environmental toxicity and pollutants. And these are the biggest things that are aging you nowadays, especially with our changing environment. I was just reading a study that not only, I think it was out of China, and they, not only was the environmental pollution, you know, it creates diseases. We know all this kind of stuff, and wrinkles and all that, but it was even leading to obesity. So now it's not just what you're eating, it's literally the air that you're breathing in.
Which in LA, it's not a very clean air, so I'm a little concerned.
Yes. So that's where this came out of. This is like the cherry on top, and it's your first line of defense. So Kayo is a complete body care brand. You know, I'm versed in the body, and so it was perfect for me. And I'm almost 35, so I saw the first signs of aging, and I couldn't find anything on the market that was treating the first signs of aging. The wrinkles, the crepey skin, the discoloration. So basically I teamed up with my business partner, Carrington Snyder, whose family has been in the skincare industry for over 30 years. And we were able to develop and create Kayo. And it was in development for over a year, and then when we launched, it kind of just exploded, which is wonderful. And it's because it's hard for, I think, any business to be innovative, but there's nothing like our business out there right now. We are
So what
only
makes it so unique beyond the results? Is it in the ingredients? So tell me about the ingredients.
Yeah, a couple of things. So the ingredients, so we call ourselves Conscious. We're based out of Malibu, which is where she grew up, and we have conscious, pure ingredients, but we are also a result-driven brand, right? So it's not, it's a natural brand, but it's not like we want to get rid of the wrinkles. We don't want to see them anymore.
So there are some active ingredients.
There are active ingredients, but they're still very natural. I mean, that would be like CoQ10. That comes from omegas. There's hyaluronic acid, water binding, water hydration, our omega blends. And what we've done is put clinical amounts into our skincare.
And lastly, what is your definition of empowerment?
I think empowerment is living by example and being unperfectly perfect and being okay with that. I've learned the most and created the best things of my businesses, from my type A, from working too hard, from fear, and I took my personal power empowerment to to learn from those, live by example, and work towards something. And I think share that with others too, that we all have weaknesses and we're all imperfect, but that's the best thing about us.
So basically you found solutions to your own problems and then shared it with everyone else.
Yeah.
I love it. Awesome. Let us know what your definition of empowerment is using hashtag Empowerista, and we'll show you some social media love.